We are long overdue for a profile of legendary, multi-car, bi-coastal, Speedo-wearing Lemons legends Sorry for Party.
Yeah, they've been in Lemons since 2012.
Here's Johnny!
Which partly explains their theme. It's a reference to the big in 2012 song by LMFAO, Sorry for Party Rocking, and they're Sorry for Party Racing. Man, LMFAO, whatever happened to those guys?
Looks like Sky Blue is now on social media under his alter ego, yeah, and Red Foo is a vegan who plays a little tennis.
Over the years, Sorry for Party has competed at tracks all the way from New Jersey to CMP to Buttonwillow, and at its peak had 4 cars in the stable at one time.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these cars and their relative highlights. There's the Porsche 944, which once completed a grand total of 1 lap at a 24-hour race at Carolina Motorsports Park. That was after they nearly got kicked out of a tire shop in small-town North Carolina for having a car with pink wheels and an inflatable zebra.
Then you've got their Pontiac Solstice, which they called the WAP, which stands for Wet Ass Pontiac. The team scored this car after it had been stuffed into the wall during another track event. They used some pretty high-tech, costly methods to repair it. We'll have to hide this from the judges so they don't get busted for cheating.
Next up is the Oldsmobile Omega, which answers a question I'm sure is on a lot of people's minds. How do you put an LS V8 into a car and get it into Lemons without penalty laps? Oldsmobile Omega.
And to be fair, this is just a high-mileage junkyard 5.3. The far cheatier part of the Olds Omega is the suspension, which has a bunch of aftermarket stuff, Hotchkiss QA1. But let us reiterate the point. Oldsmobile Omega.
This car was put together by Corey Dickman, Lemons legend of Ranwin Park Racing, and in fact, the Omega was the inspiration for the team name because Corey found it for $200 by searching Craigslist with the keywords Ranwin Park.
And lastly, you've got their longest running, probably most famous Sorry for Party car, the 1985 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Original Sorry for Party members Matt and Dean saw a Lemons car at a car show around 2010 or so, immediately started thinking about building their own car. And like many first-timers, they actually thought an F-body was a good idea.
Unlike that cheated-up Omega, the Firebird is running a 1970s-era Chevy small block 350 with a Holley 650 carb Why You Ruin Classic. There are some mods to prevent the usual outcomes surrounding Chevy small blocks and Lemons. Those include a baffled oil pan, upgraded radiator, and a junkyard oil cooler off of a Mazda RX-7.
Engine explosions aside, the F-body does have some advantages. Cheap suspension and brake upgrades are widely available. Things like frame reinforcements to partly address the chassis' comical lack of structural rigidity. Those are essentially free. You just weld angle iron to it.
Now, once the team overcame its own admitted Type A personalities, in the words of team member Dean, there's a fine line between life of the party and world's biggest. And then they focused on having fun. Racing success slowly came naturally, and in 33 races, the Firebird has racked up numerous top 10 finishes with the whole team dressed in Speedos.
And yeah, all of that car stuff is totally secondary to the real draw of Sorry for Party Racing, Speedos and the party.
The team will be the first to admit that they came into Lemons with the idea of, like, winning or something like that, but they quickly pivoted to focusing on taking themselves less seriously, having more fun, bitching less, laughing more, and wearing fewer clothes.
And yeah, I'm going to make the point again, that did not hurt their on-track performance. In fact, they've had plenty of top 10 finishes after switching to wearing Speedos.
Sorry for Party have also gone out of their way to improve the Lemons experience for other teams. If you need to borrow a tool, if you need help troubleshooting a problem, or if you need to take a post-race drink from the chalice of failure, a broken piece of drive shaft, you don't need to look any further than the Sorry for Party paddock spot.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?